Hi CPC kids, it's good to see you again. We have some more art experiments to do today. This time I'm gonna pan the camera down and show you what is in my hand. This is something really fun. It's a surprise today. I don't know if you can see what that is. Can you guys tell what those are? They have 2 holes in them. Now these are extra fancy ones. They're for doing crafts with. They have really pretty patterns on them. These are buttons. I bet your grown-ups have some buttons at home. These buttons I got on Amazon. They are craft buttons. They have really, really fun pictures on them, and they're really fun to work with. There's lots of things you can do with buttons. So one thing you can do with buttons, and I'm going to arrange it so you can see a little bit better, and sit down. You can take some glue, which you might have at your house. I'm not really going to do this because I want to save these buttons for a project, but you could put glue wherever you want. You got to put plenty of glue when you're working with buttons. You can arrange them and make really beautiful pictures. Now they could just be a pattern or design. I just put them down. Or you could make them into something. Let's see if I maybe I'll make a middle and do some pieces around. Let's see what I could turn it into. Maybe it could be a flower. Looks a little bit like a flower maybe. Maybe that's my flower and I'll make a little stem for it. Kind of looks like a flower. Can you see that? I'll bring it a little closer. Maybe you can see it better. And I'll even turn it around. Now I did not glue that on, but you could do something, anything you want with them. You can design them into something. You don't have to have a piece of wood to glue them onto. You could use some cardboard. Cardboard is great for gluing buttons onto. It's nice and heavy. So you could glue them onto something. But what I wanted to show you today is something else that I like to do with buttons. Because buttons have, I'm going to show you the back of the button. Get a bigger one though. These buttons have holes in them. You can put things through the holes. So it's a little hard to put ribbon. Ribbon is a little bit too thick. You could try thread, but what I like to do, I've got some of this at my house, wire. You might have different kinds of wire. It's probably easy for grown-ups if you're looking for wire to work with florist wire. Florist wire is a little bit thinner, a little bit easier. This is a little bit heavy. This is a steel wire that I have at my house. I'm going to put the buttons on to the wire. And the fun thing about this is what you can do, the wire bends all different directions. So you can change how you want it to be. Now, if I leave it like this and I don't bend the end, the button's just gonna fall right back off. So I'm gonna bend the end so my button does not fall back off. In fact, I'm gonna make a loop at the end and put my button above it. And you can stack lots of different kinds of buttons on a piece of wire. You can make sculptures with them. You could hang it up someplace. You can also use one of my favorite things that you guys love to use at school, like we do with beads. You could use pipe cleaners. Pipe cleaners are really great to use for this project. And you could design it any way you wanted to. I'm just putting big and small buttons. These are such beautiful colored buttons. I do have some regular plain buttons upstairs that I keep for sewing that I didn't bring out today, but you could see if your grown-ups have some buttons they don't need. Or again, grown-ups, you can order them online. Amazon has buttons and Joanne Fabric has buttons. So look, making a little sculpture with them. Looks really pretty. You could hang it up lots of different ways you could do. So many things you can do with buttons. You might have a different idea of what you can do with a button. If you like sewing and your grown-up has a needle that will fit through your buttonhole, you could try sewing some buttons onto fabric. That's always a fun adventure. But it's your art. You can make it any way you want. See if your grown-ups have any buttons around the house. See what you can do with them. As always, I love getting pictures. If you want to send me a picture of something you try and you want me to see what your art looks like, that's great. If you don't want to, that is absolutely fine, but I would love to see what you do with your buttons. Until next time, have a really fun time experimenting. See you later. I miss you.